Thanks, Kerry. First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with our race fans. Following the incident, we responded appropriately according to our safety protocols and had emergency medical personnel at the incident immediately. We transported 14 people off property and treated 14 people at our on-track care center. We're in the process of repairing this facility and we'll be ready to go racing tomorrow.
Yeah, on behalf of NASCAR, I certainly want to echo Joey's statements about the fans that were injured here today. Our thoughts are certainly with them and their families. As far as our drivers are concerned, all that were involved in the last lap accident have been treated and released from the infield care center. We did have one driver that was transported earlier during the race, Michael and Annette. He has been treated and he will be at the hospital and is remaining there. Joey talked about the track, and the track's currently underway repairing the fencing. We're very confident that we'll be ready for tomorrow's event with the 55th running of the Daytona 500. But as with any of these incidents, we'll conduct a thorough review. We'll work closely with the tracks as we do for all of our events, learn what we can and see what we can apply in the future.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Joy. Listen, we'll take a handful of questions, and we're going to start back there with George Diaz.
Yeah, for either Joey or Steve, George Diaz, Orlando Sentinel. Do you have any idea in terms of the seriousness of the injuries involving the fans who were hurt?
George, I'd have to refer you to Halifax for any conditions of the patients. It's not appropriate for me to comment on that.
Bob Pockris, I think you had a question.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. What sections of stands were most of the people injured, and do you know what they were hit with?
At this point, as we responded to the incident, we transported immediately those patients that needed critical assistance. We'll review ourselves in terms of where the debris flew and what we need to do with that, but it was the grandstands immediately outside of the fence where the car hit.
Nate Ryan.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Besides replacing that section of fence and taking it all down, are you going to make any other changes for the race tomorrow as regards to safety?
At this point, after every event, we review our property, both from an asphalt perspective and a fencing perspective. And so we did that after the duels, after our truck race. We'll do the same thing to make sure that we're ready for tomorrow. As a property that's been here for over 55 years, we make sure we make the right investments in our property. The only change that will occur with the fencing that goes back, we will not have time to put the crossover gate that was there. So it'll be strict fencing for tomorrow.
Take a couple more. Jenna.
AP, Steve, Joey just mentioned the crossover gate, and I assume that was the point of impact. It seems that the most serious incidents involving fences are when the crossover gate is involved. Is there something that NASCAR can do going forward, or studies or anything that can be looked at to prevent this?
I think we look at this after every incident. We've certainly learned from those in the past. Some of the protocols that have been put in place today are as a result of prior incidents. So again, our initial evaluation is still ongoing, but it's certainly something that we'll look at. If we can improve upon it, we'll absolutely put that in play as soon as we can.
Let's go with Alan right here, and then maybe a couple more after that. Alan?
Alan Cavana, NASCAR.com. Will fans be seated in those sections tomorrow? Do you anticipate having to move anything around in terms of fans?
No, we don't anticipate moving any of our fans. We had our safety protocols in place. Our security maintained a buffer that separates the fans from the fencing area. And with the fence being prepared tonight to our safety protocols, we expect to go racing tomorrow with no changes.